Hello, welcome back once again. In today's video, you are going to learn how to ask and answer questions with how far, how often, how much, how many, how long in Chinese language. We are going to talk about how these vocabularies, what they are called in Chinese language, and how to ask and answer questions with them. Let's quickly start. Number one, how. How in Chinese have two pronunciation method. The first one is 怎么, while the second pronunciation is 怎么样. These two pronunciations in Chinese, they are used in different sentences. So we can't use 怎么 or 怎么样 in the same sentences. It's going to give us wrong and different meaning. So now, let's see their differences. How do you go to work? How do you go to work? We say 你怎么上班？你怎么 you how 上班 go to work. How do you go to work? So in response, let's say I drove to work. I drove to work. I will say 我开车上班。我开车上班。We ask 你怎么上班？ How do you go to work? Then I drove to work. 我开车上班。The second question, how do you go back home? How do you go back home? We say in Chinese, 你怎么回家？你怎么回家？ How do you go back home? I went home by bus. I went home by bus. 我坐公交车回家。I went home by bus. 我坐公交车回家。So let's see their differences with that 怎么 and 怎么样. So 怎么样, for example, how are you doing today? How are you doing today? We say 你今天怎么样？你今天怎么样？ So we cannot say 你今天怎么? That is wrong. That is their differences. When we're talking about how someone is doing, we don't say 怎么, we put 怎么样. So that is the difference. So for example, I'm very good today. I'm very good today. I will say 我今天很好。我今天很好。Example, how do I look? How do I look? 我看起来怎么样？我看起来怎么样？ How do I look? So let's say you want to say I look very handsome or someone looks very beautiful. I'll say 你看起来很漂亮。你看起来很漂亮。You look very beautiful. 我看起来怎么样？ How do I look? So in response, you look very beautiful. We say 你看起来很漂亮。What if you look very handsome? We say 你看起来很帅。很帅 very handsome. 帅 is handsome. 你看起来很帅。Second question, how far? How far in Chinese is 多远。多远。For example, how far from here to your house? How far from here to your house? We say 从这里到你家有多远？从这里到你家有多远？ How far from here to your house? So in response, let's say from here to your house is not far. From here to your house is not far. So we say in Chinese, 从这里到我家不远。从这里到我家不远。From here to my house is not far. From here to my house is not far. Let's see the second example. How far from here to your office? How far from here to your office? The same formula. 从这里到你办公室有多远？从这里 from here to your office 到你办公室有多远？ So the same process. is not far to my office. It's not far to my office. We say 从这里到我办公室不远。从这里到我办公室不远。From here to my office is not far. But what if it is very far? We can say 从这里到我办公室很远。从这里到我办公室很远。From here to my office is very far. So it's the same thing. We can say it's not far, which is adding the negative word 不远, which is not far. Then if it is very far, we can put 很远, it is very far. Let's see the third question. The third question is how often. How often in Chinese also have two ways of saying them. So the first one, you can use 多长时间一次，多长时间一次， or we can use 多久一次。So 多 is how, 长 is long, 时间 time, 一次，多长时间一次 when it comes together it means how often. Then 多久一次 see the same meaning. So for example, how often do you have your hair cut? How often do you have your hair cut? We say 你多长时间剪一次头发？你多长时间剪一次头发？剪 is to cut. Have a haircut. 剪一次头发。头发 is your hair. 头 is head. 发 is the hair. 头发。你多长时间剪一次头发？ Or we can say 你多久剪一次头发？多久剪一次头发？ Both is still the same. So for example, I have my hair cut every Saturday. I have my hair cut every Saturday. So in response, in Chinese literal form, we say in Chinese way, every Saturday I have my hair cut. So it's gonna be 我每个星期六我每个星期六剪一次头发。我每个星期六剪一次头发。星期 is week. 星期六 sixth week. That is 6 days of that week. 星期六 Saturday is 星期六。我每个星期六剪一次头发。Cut my hair. I have my hair cut every Saturday. Let's see another question. How often do you go to church? How often do you go to church? So using that same method, we say 你多长时间就一次教堂？你多长时间就一次教堂？ Or we can say the other way around. 你多久就一次教堂？你多久就一次教堂？ How often? 你多久 or 你多长时间？就 to go 一次教堂。教堂 is church. 教堂 is church. So let's say I go to church every Sunday. I go to church every Sunday. So in Chinese we will say every Sunday I go to church. So we'll say 我每个星期天去一次教堂。我每个星期天去一次教堂。Or you can say 我每个星期天去教堂。All of them is correct. 我每个星期天去一次教堂。Or 我每个星期天去教堂。Let's see the fourth. So the fourth question is how much? How much? So is something that we use every day. How much? So how much in Chinese is 多少？多少？ How much? 多少？ So for example, let's say you go to the market and you are pricing a cup. You want to ask, how much is this cup? How much is this cup? For example, so in Chinese way we say this cup, how much? So it's gonna give us 这个杯子 this cup 这个杯子多少钱？这个杯子多少钱？ How much is this cup? In Chinese literal way is this cup how much? So 这个 杯子多少钱? So in response, let's say the cup is 300 naira or 300 yuan. We say 这个杯子300奈拉 or 这个杯子300元。这个杯子300奈拉 or 这个杯子300元。300元 is 300 RMB. 300 is 300. 这个 this cup is 300. 这个杯子300元 or 这个杯子300奈拉。This cup is 300 naira or this cup is worth 300 yuan. Next example, how much is in your pocket? How much is in your pocket is also a generally or a commonly asked question. How much is in your pocket? So we say 你的口袋，你的口袋，你的 is your 口袋 is pocket. 你的口袋 your have 多少钱 how much money 多少钱钱 is money, although we forget to say that the other one. 多少钱你的口袋有多少钱 how much money is in your pocket? So in response, let's say I have 1,000 naira in my pocket or $1,000 in my pocket. I will say 我的口袋有1000 naira or 我的口袋有1000美金 which is dollar, $1,000 or 我的口袋有1000元 so anything can go. And the fifth question is how many? How many? How many in Chinese also have two ways. So we also use how many as 多少 as we said in how much 多少 or 几个多少 or 几个 Let me give you the differences between 多少 and 几个 when talking about how many or when asking questions with how many. 几个 is being used when you're talking about number from 10 down. From 10 to down, we use 几个. Then when we ask about 多少 is talking about, we're talking about number above 1 million. That's when we are talking about much numbers, we can use 多少 or so why talking about 几个 we talk about from number from 10 to down. So let's, for example, how many people are in the classroom? How many people are in the classroom? So in Chinese we say 教室里 in the classroom. 教室 is classroom. 教室里 inside the classroom. 有多少 have how many? 多少 have how many? Now remember, it is not how much again. It is not how much again. How many and how much are sharing the same thing, but the difference is on 几个. So let's quickly start. 教室里有多少人？有多少人？ How many people are in the classroom? How many people are in the classroom? 教室里 in the classroom 有 have 多少人？ How many people? 人 is people. 多少 is how many. So for example, let's say we have about 100 people in the class. There are 100 people in the class. We say 教室里有100个人。教室里有100个人。There are 100 people in the class. 教室里 in the class 有 have 100个。100 100 is 100 100个人。People 人 is people. So 教室里有多少人？教室里有100个人。There are 100 people in the class. Then let's see the other one, which is 几个 which we also use to ask about how many. So 几个 let's say how many do you want? So for example, if someone wants something that is 10 to 1, we know that he can't need more than that. So we can ask the person 你要几个？你要几个？你要 you want 几个？ How many? 你要几个？ So 我要5个 I need 5. 我要5个 I need 5. So it's something that is not up to that. So when we are talking about numbers from 10 downward, we use G. While talking about the one as much as, we use 多少. So that is it. Let's move to the last question. The last question is how long? How long? So how long? We say 多长时间 or 多久. Let me remind something for you. I know here might be a little bit difficult. When we talk about how often, we say 多长时间一次. That 一次 is only difference, or 多久一次. So, but here right now, here, when talking about how long, we use only 多长时间. There is nothing like 一次 or 多久. 多长时间 or 多久. So both can go. For example, how long have you been in Nigeria? How long have you been in Nigeria? Let's use that as example. So we can say 你在尼日利亚多长时间? 你在尼日利亚多长时间? You 在 you 在 is at, being someplace. 尼日利亚 is Nigeria. 多长时间? How long have you been in Nigeria? Let's say I've been in Nigeria for like 9 years. Let's give that example. So in response, I will say 我在尼日利亚9了. 我在尼日利亚9年了. So meaning I've been in Nigeria for about 9 years. I'm in Nigeria for about 9 years. So you can ask another question. 你在中国多长时间 or 你在中国多久? 你在中国多久? How long have you been in China? So we can say I've been in China for like 4 years or 5 years. Or let's use 4 years. I've been in China for 4 years. So I would say 我在中国4年了. 我在中国4年了. I've been in China for 4 years. So you can use anyone. 4 is 4. 4年 is years. 年 is years. 我在中国. I've been in China 4年了. I've been in China for 4 years. So someone you might ask anybody, 你在美国多久? Or 你在美国多长时间? How long have you been in America? 美国 America. So let's say I've been in America for about 8 years. So I will say 我在美国. 我在 me at America. 在美国8年了. 8 is 8. 8年了. 8 years. I've been in America for 8 years. Beautiful. We'll be rounding up here today. Today we'll be able to learn, most importantly, these 6 last WH questions of Chinese language. We've learned how to pronounce them and see their differences. We've also been able to learn how to see how to make sentences with them, and also how to ask questions with them. It's very simple. So if this is your first time coming to our channel, don't forget to subscribe, like, share. Most importantly, to turn on your notification bell for more video updates. See you next time on the next video. Take care.